and Jesse Martineau.
Welcome back to the Me and Jesse podcast, everybody. My name is Mark Pavlich, and my dear friend in the Grove, the one and only Jesse Martineau.
Well, our special guest is here already, Mark.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, I'm not. Are you ready?
Listen, can I do some push-ups first or something?
You might have to. Ladies and gentlemen, chime them in, Mark.
Bring them in. The one and only, ladies and gentlemen, El Guapo, my dear friend, the one and only Bas Rutten.
There he is.
Bam.
Boom.
Boom. that's a boom, everybody. Look how good this guy looks.
Always looks good. Always looks good.
It's amazing.
It's the lighting. It's the lighting. I get the light coming from the front. It's very important. All right.
Mark taught me that too. Make sure the light's always coming this way.
Yes.
Light up
Correct.
that mug.
A light from above is good for showing your abs because then you get the shape. But it shows also your wrinkles. So you got
that's
right.
right.
Yes, straight on.
That's right. Well, welcome to the show, Boss. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on today, and we're super excited. Me and you known each other for a very long time.
Yeah.
And we followed your career through fighting, through the movies, through you name it. And like I said, we're just excited to have you on the show today. And to imagine from the small city where you came from in the Netherlands to where you are today. There's 200,000 people in your city.
Yep.
Can you imagine where you are today?
No, I can't. Sometimes I still got to squeeze myself. You know what? Sometimes you do an interview and then they start reading off all the things that you did in your life, and you go like, "Wow, yeah." Then you hear it, and you go like, "Wow, that's a lot. I've been doing a lot." So yeah, but going from the kid who was, trouble with the police, doing all these bad things, and then suddenly find a way to steer it the right way, and then becoming, a champ. I never expected that.
It really is something special. But, Jesse, and all my friends that even growing up, you were their guy. And the cool part about it was every time over the years I call you up at some weird time or text you and I'd say, "Boss, my friend, it's his 45th birthday today. Can you please do a shout out?" Listen, Jesse, you don't even know this, okay, Jesse? I'm not joking.
I haven't heard this story yet.
Listen, this is where I talk about character of people. Listen, there's a lot of people in Hollywood that want to act a certain way. There's people in the MMA world that want to act a certain way. I know Boss for a long time. I would call him up sometimes or text him and say, "Boss, it's my friend's 45th birthday. You're his favorite guy in the world. Can you do a video for me and send to him?" I swear to God, every time he's done it for me and my friends to this day, they're big shot business guys and everything. And they're still showing me the Bas Rutten video that they got for their birthday when they were 45 years old.
How awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's true.
Why do you do that, boss? Why? Some people wouldn't care. What makes you want to do that?
I've been bullied as a kid. I had a horrible skin disease, and I think that everything started there. That's why I really injustice. I'm very, I can't sleep from it. I want to, if somebody needs to get what he deserves, he needs to get what he deserves, So I learned to deal with that, but only the last 6-7 years I really got into it, like to just let these things go, because it's some things the Lord will take care of. We cannot do that here on earth.
So would you say that was a big motivation for you growing up? Because it says, like, if people don't know out there, you said 6 years old, you developed a skin condition, you also had asthma, and were you considered a little skinny kid, or what happened?
I was a little skinny. I was the leper. That's what they called me in school. The leper in school. Something that at the time, of course you don't like it. Hey, leper, watch out, your fingers don't fall off, your ear doesn't fall off, your foot doesn't fall off. It was always something like that. And then until I saw Bruce Lee movie and everything in a nutshell, and then the biggest bully in school did something after I started training for about 2.5 months, and I knocked him out. And it was magic, like I do these anti-bullying campaigns. I did an anti-bullying campaign for Cartoon Network. I did a lot of work for that, and they always ask me to say that I cannot promote violence. I say I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
say, what do you mean? I say,
Yeah.
I tried for years in a row to talk, and it would never work. One punch solved it 95%. So I think that kids just need to know how to defend themselves. And unfortunately for me, I could. There's also some kids who unfortunately can't. Maybe they don't have the skills for it. So, but their time will come. Those kids, they excel in other areas, and they're the ones who laugh the last.
Would you say that then martial arts is a great thing to get your children into right away?
Yeah, 100%. And especially now also with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the beginning, I thought, I never wanted to learn it. I thought it was a pussy sport. And then it was so stupid. I was so stupid. I was so moronic thinking. You know how I found this out? This is how actually I got my honorary fifth degree Kyokushin belt. I'm walking on the street. I see this highlight reel from the next day, because we're in Japan. And with me is John Blooming. He's the highest. He's just passed away this last year. He's like 11th degree Kyokushin, like freaking badass.
Yeah.
He's behind me, and we're watching these previews about the show that I was going to fight on the next day. And I go, oh my God, it's a giant screen. Like the whole building was a screen. And the first thing we see is me knocking out a guy, and then I see a guy sitting in half guard. And that was early in my career. Yeah. And I see him in half guard, going for an inverted heel hook. He grabs it and he falls back. And I'm looking at Blooming, and I go like, I should remember that. So the next day I'm fighting, I'm in a position. I go, why not? I try it. Now, I never did it before, so I had no clue what I was doing. I broke the guy's shin bone in half.
Oh, jeez.
And but I didn't know,
Yeah.
And that moment was the moment for me, like, holy crap. I always thought that punch and kickers, they were the badasses. No, it's the submission guy. They can dislocate any joint, and they can break any bone in the body. That's a big power to have.
And I also too I found out that in my short jiu-jitsu career that it doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter. It's how smart you are. It's how you're able to actually perform the technique. And that's why on the street today, like, you get a little guy that knows some jiu-jitsu, you're in big trouble if you don't know what you're doing.
Oh, you're 100%. Plus, for kids, it's a sport you never master. Never.
Right.
No.
Always new setups and new combinations and new escapes and transitions.
Right.
And it's something that is endless. And so for kids, for child development, it's really good. It's problem-solving thinking, It's like, how get out of this situation, And then once you understand body mechanics, you can apply to everything. That was the thing with me. I just understood it. I realized that if I understand what it does, not what it looks like, because everybody knows what a figure 4 looks like, but everybody does it wrong. Because the hand is here, now they can lift the elbow this high, but if you bring the elbow down with the hand,
doesn't work.
now it works. It's little tiny things. And once I start seeing those things, I never lost anymore. Once I did that, I never lost a fight anymore.
But Boss, doesn't your mind compute that way with stand-up, right? Because your stand-up game is always done in combinations. They've always done. Listen, if I had $1 for everybody that I told at one time or another, why are you leading with the kick? Why don't you finish with the kick? I don't care what you do. Close your eyes.
Yeah.
Jab, cross, kick. Cross, jab, 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 hook. I don't care what it is. Kick at the end. It's funny. When I used to box with guys, I don't know if you know, Boss, but I boxed lots. And as I was going with guys, everything in my mind was through you talking like that. Like everything was a combination. Nothing was just thrown one time. And most guys can attest. They're like, Mark, why are you such a good boxer? And I'm like, I'm really not. What I did, though, is I paid attention.
You just think.
I just think, right? So people go, oh, you're a really good boxer. I'm like, no, I'm not a good boxer. I understand the fundamentals of boxing. And I said the same thing with kickboxing. You see people all the time, and UFC is the worst. Lead kick, lead kick, lead kick, lead kick.
Why?
Even on the weekend. Listen, even on the weekend. We had Connor and Poirier fight, and Connor was eating the calf kick, and you know what everybody was thinking? Bas Rutten. That's what everybody was thinking, because they're like, he doesn't know how to check the kick. He's clueless how to check the kick.
There was the great thing, I did like a couple of weeks before, they asked me what is the game plan for McGregor. And I said, well, if I had a student who had to fight him, I would switch him immediately southpaw and then start attacking his legs, because he stands so squatted down as such a wide stance. He can't move out of the way. He can't check low kicks. He immobilizes himself. So fire on that front leg, immobilize it, and then you go in for the kill. And that's what the Poirier exactly did. So I got it on video. saying it. That is the game plan to do, because for right-handed fighters, orthodox fighters, it's a really good stance that he had, because he's squatting so low
That's right.
that
That's
his
right.
front leg, there is no, you cannot get a target on the leg because it's in one line. It's really weird how he does that. But if you're southpaw, that's
Easy.
a different ballgame.
Yeah.
And that's what
Wow.
happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was dismantled. Like it was over very quickly with that leg.
That was the thing. And even the calf kicks, even if you lift the calf, people don't realize if you lift your leg and you get kicked on the calf then, so you can't flex, it's way worse. That is like 10 times more impact than regular. Like I have these little tricks that I do. I push somebody, and while I'm pushing him, simultaneously, not push, wait, kick, it's push, kick. And because I push him, he's weightless for a moment. So the thigh muscle is relaxed, and then it goes straight through. It hurts so bad. And that's with the calf kick as well.
Wow.
Lift your leg.
Boss, why is that? Why isn't your phone? I understand you don't want to do it. I know you don't. I know you have a school. You want to make money. You should make money. There's no question. But these guys, I don't understand why they don't wait outside the door of your school. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not joking. Why they're not waiting to understand this. And you know what I also noticed too? Why all these MMA guys aren't sparring with high-level kickboxers and high-level boxers. Yeah. You see them holding pads, but you never see them sparring with pro boxers or big-time K1 kickboxers. Never.
It's so funny because we're sitting at a table. This like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, and we're a whole bunch of fighters, and they're talking about how many times a week they spar, and it's literally like one guy 2 times a week and another guy once a week, but they go on Fridays, they go 80%, They started laughing.
Yeah.
And they go, what are you laughing? I say, are you guys serious? He goes, how many times you spar? I say, every day after every workout.
Yeah.
We do a normal workout. We always do at least 8 rounds of sparring. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And if you see on spar, people, they don't want to come in, but they don't realize that we have really good timing. Like, I will never knock you out. To the body, oh yeah, I will go for the body.
Sure.
But they can do it to me as well. And the legs.
Correct.
But the head we spare. So for the people, it looks like we're going very hard. But it's not. We're very controlled. The problem that you have is if your sparring partner didn't show up and you take like a beginner, that's when you get injured. Stay away from that. Then don't spar. But don't do it with a beginner because they got these weird orthodox. You're going to kick an elbow and, you get hurt with stupid stuff.
It's true.
I remember Mark always saying that you learn boxing by boxing. And so is that how you went about your career then? I'm going to learn this by actually doing this rather than theoretically?
Yeah, but I'm like I said, if I'm obsessed with something, I mean, my poor wife, I woke her up 5, 6, 7 times in the middle of the night because I would dream a submission. I would put her in the submission. And during the day, I'm not kidding. Everybody, the whole house is with little post-its and combinations and leaning up and escape into a counterattack. And I had these freaking all day long. It was the only thing I did, so and then you become good because once you fall in love with it, you want to do it a lot. Once you do it a lot, there's no other way that you become good because you enjoy it.
Do people reach out, boss? Do they reach out? Because I can't understand like that people that they're training with right now, like even Conor McGregor, right? Like he must be really rethinking his training because what I notice Michael Phelps, the famous swimmer, they were asking him one day, they said, like, Michael, what do? You pull parachutes? Do you jump over hurdles? He says, no, I swim.
Yeah.
I swim. And they go, what
Tiger.
do you mean you swim? He goes, I swim laps. And I mean laps, like hard with weights on, with things between his legs, just his arms, like, that's what he does.
Yeah.
And what I think in MMA now is I think they're too busy pulling parachutes and jumping over hurdles all the time without sparring. Like, okay, jiu-jitsu spar, wrestle spar, MMA spar, boxing sparring. Like, I don't see it. Like, you see the videos of Conor, you see him running upstairs all the time.
Yeah.
Or you see these type of things, but then you see him in the fight and he's got his back against the fence and I'm yelling, get your back off the fence. Like I've heard you say a million times.
Yep.
And I've seen you do videos about that. And I'm like, he's sitting on the fence. He's going to get knocked out. And sure as shit, he moves his head to slip and he catches a straight right and it's over.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. What he needs to go back to is he needs to go full on Rocky. Like Rocky, Ivan Drago in Russia, he needs to fight. He doesn't need to go home and say, hey, make me a sandwich. Hey, make me this. Everything's too nice. You cannot have that anymore. Yeah. Don't drive around in the cars and a yacht and this and that. No. Turn it back. Go somewhere really freaking hard. Make your own food. Make your own stuff. That's what Rocky did. Rocky is the perfect example. And I know that the Stallone talked to real professional boxers because the things they're saying, 100%, it comes from professional athletes. And that is the way for him to get back into the groove. He really needs to do that.
Is it too late for Conor, though? I mean, he's got $100 million. Can he get that edge back with still owning the yachts?
I think he's a special guy. I think he can. Yeah. He came back from a lot of stuff and the bad stuff, and I think he can, but he needs to do it. But he knows. I'm pretty sure he already thought about this himself. Then he goes like, you know what? I got to go back to all the way to the beginning when I had no money, no nothing, like that feeling that I always said like this. My last fight in 2006, I didn't compete for 7 years, right? I was a heavy drinker. They offered me this fight. I figured, look at my wife. You know what? I'm going to take it. Why? I said, because it made me stop drinking. There's no way I can drink and train, So I did, and I got it. Yeah. And it started going well, man. Like the first 3-4 weeks, I started beating up current guys, like really good guys. And everybody goes like, dude, you got a new career. I go, wow, this is crazy. I said, well, I can tell you one thing, though. If I'm going to be without injuries, I think I'm going to go for the next fight. I'm going to go back to Holland, go back to the cold, go back to the, it was different than here, California sun all day, nice and warm. You get spoiled, you need that get back. But then, unfortunately for me, all the injuries start coming back and then some. So I couldn't fight anymore. But I already said it. I say, if that happens, I'll probably move back to Holland for a training camp, not to live, but for a training camp.
I saw Marvin Hagler said it best. It's very hard to get ready every day when you're wearing silk pajamas to bed. You know what I mean? So he said that. He said, you wear those silk pajamas, you're all freshed up. You got your guy cooking your breakfast for you in the morning. Yeah. It's really nice. But I don't know. There's no mystery here, but you see it happen over and over and over in the fight world. You really do.
Yeah, and egos, also that's also a destroyer. Thinking you're better. That other people have that again. So it could be money, it could be this, it's just. I always say this, if there's a combination that you win with, whether it's a combination of people that you have around you, never break that combination. And I know a lot of these guys out there who start cutting corners and they go, I'm going to get rid of this guy who was with him for 12 years. And then suddenly karma, kaboom! And they start losing the fights, and it's always like that. I have yet to find the first person who didn't fall into that trap. Stay with the same people. Stay with the same training. My stretching routine is the same as it was freaking when I started.
Wow.
And they go like, why would you never change it? I said, because I never got injured. If I would get injured, I'd change it.
Yeah.
But why fix something if it's not broke? I'm not going to do it. So that's with training the same thing.
So is Dustin that much better now, or did he just execute the game plan better than Conor?
He executed the game plan. To tell you the truth, he was a little sloppy, right? I thought.
Yeah, he was.
He was. I go, whoa! And round 2, actually, he was better than he was in round 1. He was overcommitting, and then he started toning down a little bit. And once he realized he was hurt, that's when he started. Because first in the beginning, I like, ooh, don't empty yourself. But it was a good moment for him to take that.
So, boss, when he's being sloppy, the only thing you're thinking about, because I've listened to you a million times. No, you can't counter when you're out of range. So a guy can get away with being sloppy all day long if you're not in range to counter, and you see them slip and they never throw when they slip. So they're slipping out of the way, but never throw when they slip. I'm confused.
Yeah. That you're talking, you're preaching to the choir, man. It's exactly the same. I don't get it either.
Yeah.
It's like, it makes no sense. If you see me being sloppy, it's on purpose. If I go with a big left hook, that means I want to kick you and deliver the next, because I'm opening you up. I want you to see please block this punch, please block this. That's when I do exaggerate in my move. Wow. When my hands are here, I had a writer say that my striking was so bad because I was literally asking for punches. I go, well, at least he saw that right. Yeah. That's what I do. If I do this, I don't give you an option. Here, you're only going to hit my head. It's very easy for me to measure your distance, and now I start fighting. But if I do this, now you can create a way to open up a hole, and maybe you're going to knock me out. Here, I'm pretty sure you're going to hit my face. Here, I'm pretty sure you're going to hit the body, which I want. If I do this, that means hit the body. Please come in, or kick the body so I can grab it. It's like whatever you put out there, and most of the time they take it, and that's what I do. That's
Would you do it, boss? Would you do it? Would you do it if they rang your doorbell? If they Mr. Miyagi'd you and said, boss, for this amount of money, because I know you're not going to do it free. For this amount of money, I know you got all this stuff going on in your life, but because I believe that in you. Okay. So I'm not a nut greaser. So I know the facts. If someone knocked on your door and said, "Boss, you get this much of my purse. I'm guaranteed this much money. Please do what you do." Would you do it still?
Yeah. I would. It would be a
You
big
would.
challenge for me. I would do it.
Yeah.
I just did this whole striking DVD new set with dynamic striking, right? They were like 2 months ago. They had a screenshot. I made a picture of it on the TV. The highest striking accuracy is Anderson Silva right now, 60.2%, right?
But yours is higher. Yours is
I have
70.
70, yeah.
70.6.
It's the highest ever, and there's nobody who has a higher thing. But what I'm trying to say is, it's not, oh, look at me, look at now. I'm trying to say it's because of my fighting style,
Yes.
the way I fight, and everybody can do that. You just have to fight like I fight. I don't throw jabs, and I don't do that. And I don't know if I would still fight now. I would throw out feints here and there, and I would switch stances here and there. But it's just been a stance for me. Everything that I throw is hard. It's very simple, basic concept. I hit you really freaking hard in the head. What happens? Hands go up. There's my next target. And the other way around.
Yeah.
And that's how I fight. And if I drop you with a liver shot, I'm not going to go for the body. Because that's where your hands are. And the whole corner from the guys go, liver. No, hit the freaking head. Force him to put his hands back up. And there is the body shot again.
Correct.
I mean, it's so logic, but to do it under pressure, that's a different thing. Some people just don't listen to the corner. It's very hard sometimes.
I just want to make sure that when this podcast gets out, because we're getting more viewers by the second all the time with our podcast, I just want to make sure when our phone starts to ring and people start to email us, I will vet the requests for you, because I know you have it in you. Just like, what's funny? I was talking to Jesse before the show started about your acting, right? And I said, what drives me nuts is, I said, Bas does great acting stuff. He does some comedic roles. He does these other things. But I said, what's driving me nuts is Liam Neeson. And I said, if Liam Neeson at 65 years old, and I got no problem with Liam Neeson, okay?
No, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, great. And you can say that because, he is, no problem. But some of the roles he's taking at 65 years old, I know you're about 54, 55. You are.
Yeah.
And you're in phenomenal shape. So I want to know those type of roles. Like, do you see yourself like rolling into that next? Like laying off the comedic stuff? Because I know you can be super mean. Like you can be, right? And that character to me, to you, like Jesse and I were talking about it before the show. I said, if there's, you could say the other name too, Jesse. I don't want to say it because
you're the new Jason Statham.
Yeah, like how is Jason Statham? No offense to him, but how is he him? And you're not doing those roles? Like, to me, that is mind-boggling. It's not like he's some GQ stud, you know what I mean? Like, and he doesn't have your martial arts background. And I was telling Jesse, I said, this is mind-boggling to me. I'm watching this all the time, and I'm like, if I hear one more person tell me about "Here Comes the Boom" one more time, I'm like, forget that. You know what I mean? Like I want, like, if someone sends me another meme of you singing, you singing on the, in the stands, I'm like, no, listen. I'm telling you, Bas, I'm not your agent, but that's the thing. I would be like, that's definitely your role.
Yeah. I was going to do last year in March. There was going to be a number 2 of a movie, which I can't say which it was, but the first one did really well, and it was a badass movie, and I was going to be in it. And then COVID happened, and it didn't happen. So it's postponed. It will come. They are going to make it number 2. So I hope that it comes out, because that's a badass part.
Yeah.
And I don't know yet if it's a good guy or a bad guy part, but it doesn't matter. So both, whatever it is, it's badass.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I want to have that one time also. Yes.
Is that what you want to do next though? Is that those kind of roles, action type thing? I mean, you got
action comedy. If I can, action comedy. Like, I have a really good TV idea, a TV show idea, and I put some people, and they go like, "Dude, that's a really freaking good idea," and it's comedy, but action too. So it's like a little bit like Lethal Weapon.
Oh yeah.
Similar, yeah.
It's fun, but it's freaking, and the fighting is, of course, needless to say,
awesome.
It's going to be bizarre.
Netflix, if you're watching, give them a call, please.
I wish that would be something. And I got some good people who want to join with me. So
hey, if Cobra Kai can make it, I think your show could make it too.
I've been just watching it. I was just watching before I went over. I love that show.
It is funny.
Good show.
Yeah. How's the COVID hitting you over there, Bas? How's that scenario working out for you there?
The cold?
No, COVID.
Oh, COVID. The gym is closed, so we had to listen to them. and it is what it is. I train there myself. We have a few guys train, but that's like a couple of guys in the gym at the day. So it's and that's it. And I invented a long training device, O2 Trainer. That went with COVID. It went up. Now I got pulmonologists buying it for asthma patients and COPD. They get it actually from insurance.
Can you tell people where to get it, boss?
It's o2trainer.com. The problem is we're sold out right now, and we're waiting for this new. There's a new model coming. And we invest a lot of money in because it's injection molding, and that takes. Correct. I didn't know that an injection mold to prepare that takes 3 months.
Yep.
Oh wow!
I had no clue, so I completely misjudged that whole thing. And but it's going to be great, and especially with all the reviews that are coming out from the pulmonologists and from the lung doctors. I worked with a guy who won 6 awards from the AARP. I mean, and he gets them from insurance and he buys them from me. Wow. So it's 100% proven what it does. So it's really cool. Yeah,
definitely.
The other fights on the last UFC 257 we just watched. Chandler, what did you think of the new guy? Well, he's not new.
I knew he was going to. Listen, I like. They told me, oh, he's going to have a problem. I say, no, Chandler's going to knock him out. I say, I'm sorry. That's because Chandler's just an animal, and I know
Hooker's no joke though.
Yeah. No. That intensity, he can do that for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
He will never stop. He will just keep on freaking going, and his hands are so fast. Yeah, now I had a feeling that he was going to win that fight. By knockout? Yeah, also by knockout. But not in the first round.
Do you think he deserves a title shot next? Or does he have to do some more stuff?
But maybe some more stuff. But now he's number 6, right? I assume he takes the spot.
Yeah, he should.
So, or one up even, maybe.
Yeah, so probably one more fight. They have him, and and why not? I'm all for it. I mean, he was the champ of Bellator. Why wouldn't he get a title shot? So
yeah.
How different are the leagues now? Because I mean, for people that just watch UFC and they maybe don't see Bellator or other leagues out there, how much gap is there between the UFC and the other fighting organizations?
I don't think there's so much gap. I mean, every fighter, all these fighters are good now. I don't want to fight a 135-pound lady now. She's going to kick my ass. I mean, they're so good, all these fighters.
Yeah, they're
everywhere. So, and like you said with Chandler, he comes in. I mean, that was a big task putting this on and knocking him out. That's a big fight for him. So, no, he didn't blink. He didn't bulk on the pressure, no nothing. So, yeah. No, I think they're great fighters everywhere around the world. That's how they get the scope, the RFA or the LFA, whatever it is now, they mix them up. Yeah. That's the kind of the feeder that they come. But these are just guys also, they just went from amateur to... Reyes. He was on the card fighting a couple of years ago on amateur shows with my guys.
Wow.
And this guy just, boom, suddenly is there.
Yeah.
Look at that, you see? And I love that. And there's a lot of guys like that. So, yeah.
Isn't that great about MMA? You're only 3 victories away from doing something special. It seems like that all the time. It doesn't matter. Conor could lose today. He goes and blasts off 3 guys, few head kicks, few knees to the face. Boom, he's back in the picture. That's MMA. Not like boxing. Boxing's different. But MMA, you put 3 to 4 good wins together, and all of a sudden you're somebody.
I will Dan Gable. I have to do this because I know Dan Gable. So we remember we were showing records from fighters. We had them on Inside MMA, and there was like a record. I'm not going to mention names, but somebody who's a world champion. He's 17-8, and Dan Gable goes like, "He's a champion,"
Yeah.
Because in MMA, and I told him, I said, Dan, there's so many ways that you can win in MMA, so that automatically means there's so many ways you can lose.
Yeah.
It's not just wrestling, it's not just submissions, it's not just striking, it's all of them. You make one little mistake and then you lose, but it doesn't matter that that you're a bad guy. It's not like boxing or wrestling in his case that he lost once.
One time.
Do you have a favorite fight that you were in?
Me, For me, my favorite fight was my rematch against Funaki. Yeah, that was it. He beat me. He was my first. He gave me my first loss with a toe hold.
Yes.
For the people at home, I saw a guy break a shin bone with a toe hold. So it's not what you think. It's not like I hold my toe. It's a very painful move.
But your victory against him was that was crazy.
Oh, that was crazy. I emptied myself. For him, it was his best fight too because he kept standing up.
Yeah.
And at the end, I literally grabbed him by the hair. He had long hair, and I just kneed him in the face as hard as I could. And that's when he laid.
Yeah, I thought you killed him. I thought you killed him.
Oh, dude, I was going full. I had bruises on my knees and my palms from hitting this guy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah, and he kept coming up every time. I thought it was over, and then the whole audience, Funaki, Funaki.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he started moving.
Yeah.
And everybody goes, shut up. I was getting tired, you know.
Yeah, of course.
I was really going at
him. Tell us about the liver shot, because the liver shot you say is your favorite shot. It is amazing to watch. It's amazing when you see it. People that don't know fighting maybe will watch and be like, what just happened to that guy? He just kind of collapsed. Talk about that and what you love about that particular thing.
Well, it's I was a badass karateka, and I was a black belt. Not even a black belt yet. I think a brown belt, but nobody could beat me in my gym where I was. And then I decided because I wanted to train full contact in Thai boxing. So I had my first Thai boxing workout, and I sparred right away with an A-class guy, which is a pro.
Yeah.
And my karate hands were here. So when he hit my face, well, you know, if a punch comes fast, you cannot go slowly up. You're going to have to go
You better get
so
them up.
Over committing, and he figured me out really fast. And he dropped me immediately with a liver shot. And I've never been down to the ground with a body shot. And I remember him asking, he goes, dude, what is this? What is this? And he goes, I'd say, explain to me there was a liver shot. And then I was watching Ramon Dekkers. He was fighting on the same cards as me. Or he became a whole different animal, by the way, than me. But that's when he started dropping people with body shots, and that's really got my attention. I got back in memory of my first class, and then I see him doing it to professionals. I go, you know what? I really want to learn this. I actually started training at Mang Ho at the same gym as Ramon Dekkers as well.
Wow.
So that was him. Biggest influence. Him and Tyson. Tyson is my whole stance. I got a really wide open stance. I'm doing like the blade. You're shutting down your whole left side. It's a stupid thing to do. Your movement is not identical. If you stand like that, you can equally move forward, backwards, and to the side. That's just hot physics. Nobody can deny that it is not. The only thing that they say that you give up is you're a wider target because I'm wide open. Yet all the guys that I know, like a Tyson, like a Ramon Dekkers, like a Chuck Liddell, like myself, there's a whole bunch of guys who fight square. None of them went down to the body. I go, like, is it so simple?
Yeah.
Why doesn't it knock me out to the body?
Yeah.
But we're all knocking people out. All of us.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a reason for that. And that's what I'm saying. That's that style. That's the stance. If Tyson, I look at the guys who are the most powerful punchers or strikers on the planet.
Of all time. Yeah.
Ramon Dekkers and Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And I made a blend of that. Ramon Dekkers was still blading a little tiny bit. And Tyson was completely open. I like completely open. Even with the calf kicks, you can't. Because if you calf kick me, you hit my shin.
Yeah.
My toes are pointing 45-degree angle to the left.
That's got to be... That's got to be your next video, boss, because it seems like nobody in the MMA world knows how to defend a calf kick. They don't. Nobody.
Just a stance. It's just a stance.
Yeah, I know.
Bring your shin in the path. That's it.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Now,
things. Oh, the pivoting, and you got to pivot on the left hook, and you got to twist your hand to the punch. It's all BS.
Yeah.
Somebody made that up. It makes no difference. I can do exactly the same this. I don't need to snap this. I can snap like that as well. I had a fighter saying to me, hey, boss, oh, your stance, I got it 100%. He says one thing. He says, look, if I pivot or if I twist, see, my elbow, I do literally this to him. I say, you mean this?
Yes.
There's no difference. There's no difference. I said, but somebody told you that, and because they told you that, you automatically assume it's the only way.
You repeated it.
I was never like that. Yeah. I was like, no, I got to find out if it's real or not.
Right.
You know, and pivoting on the left hook, all these guys who say they pivot on the left hook, watch their fights when they knock people out. They don't pivot.
No.
Mike Tyson doesn't pivot. You know, because if you throw triple left hooks or another liver shot left uppercut left hook,
you're already wound up.
You can't do that with pivots.
That's right.
Be way too slow. It's upper body movement, you know. It's so stupid. Just think yourself. Don't believe all these technical guys. You got to do this. It's not a science. It's just hitting somebody in the head, like I said, hands go up, go to the body. That's it. And now you have to figure out
I love
nice
it.
ways
I
to
love
do
it. I love it.
Now, I read something, and you tell me if this is true or not, but you have something in common with Evander Holyfield, with the ear.
With the ear?
Someone said, I read somewhere that someone bit you once in the ear.
Oh, he bit my ear, yeah.
How do you forget about that, boss?
Oh, no, how can I? Because the whole audience started fighting.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So what happened was That was Rene Rosie. He's known to be a dirty fighter.
Dirty fighter, yeah.
And he brought all his Hells Angel friends with me, and I brought, and they're from Amsterdam, and we came from the south of Holland, the farmer towns, and I brought all my bouncer friends with me. So we were there, and then suddenly I just annihilate him in the first round. The second round, he's in the clinch, he started biting my ear. And I go, dude, let go. And you hear me scream, let go. And you see my leg going all, because he didn't let go, all the way back, and I knee him in the balls as hard as I can, right? So he goes down. I'm already trying to pull off my gloves to hit him in the face, and everybody jumps in. The whole audience starts fighting.
Wow.
You know, everybody, you know, and of course, we were reigning supreme really fast. But the things there's a funny moment, like Cor Hammers, the trainer for Ramon Dekkers, he's in the ring with me, and somebody throws a chair into the ring, and it bounces up against his back, and you see it in the video. It falls behind me, it lands on 4 legs, right? And I'm looking around in the middle of the ring, everybody's fighting. And I see the chair behind me, so I sit in the chair in the middle of the ring while everybody's fighting. And then
We got to find this video.
The referee comes over. He goes like, dude, why would you do that? I go, my ear. And then he looked, and it was a hole straight through. It was clean through my ear. And he grabbed the microphone. He says, guys, Bas is right. He bit a hole straight through his ear, you know, and that's when everybody calmed down. So, yeah, that was a crazy moment.
Would there be a video out, Bas? No.
There, you know, I've been looking for it. I have seen the video 100%. It is.
Yeah.
But I've been asking Nico Sports in Holland, that's the biggest production company. I said, please find that video, because I remember the chair landing on
all fours.
Cor Hammers' back, you know, and landing behind me. Oh, dude, it's hilarious. So, yeah, no, I will find it 100%.
Yeah, because if we find it first, we'll put it on our Facebook
absolutely.
page.
Oh, you're gonna have to tag me then.
That's definitely worth it for sure.
for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have lived under a rock for the last 20 years, we are joined today by the MMA legend, the Hall of Famer, the guru, I will say, Bas Rutten right here. You can find Bas Rutten on all social media. Bas Rutten MMA on Instagram, and where else do they find you?
Just facebook.com, Bas Rutten, you know, I put but right now I'm doing an Exodus 90. This is like, it's like Lent on steroids. So it's like 3 meals a day, only cold showers, no TV, no phone, only for business I can use it. And for the rest, I can't do anything. So I'm not a lot on social media right now.
Okay.
Because I'm stepping back. Yeah, because I did that last time, like last year or 2 years ago, I think. And then I realized, oh man, I'm wasting a lot of time on stupid stuff. Now I can't watch TV, so I read a book. And I got, you know, so you fill your time up with other things. There's no sweets, no alcohol, no, you know, you just cut everything out.
So are you doing like the Wim Hof, like the cold shower thing through him, or do you know who that is?
No, that's called the Exodus 90. That's like it's a Catholic thing that they do for 90 days. So it's 90 days, it's 3 months.
Because Lent is 40 days.
That's why I said it's on steroids, you know. And but it's cool. And thankfully, I live in California with the cold shower. I'm in my pool. I shower in my pool. I use my pool as a bathtub. It's 48 degrees right now. So it's cold. Wow. So and I do that the whole year through. So in the evening I just jump in the pool, have a bar of soap next to my pool, and I just soap it, and that's how I wash. So I like the cold. Yeah, it's really weird.
Well, I mean, hey, whatever. Why did you feel that, you know, you were doing too much social media and stuff? Why is this important to you?
To not do it. It's a waste of time, you know. We're so focused on getting likes and on this and on that, and if you have 150 great responses and there's one negative response, we all focus on the stupid negative response. You know, if it was the other way around, you got everything negative and you focus on the one good one. No. You always focus on the negativity. I said, I don't want this shit anymore. You know, it just pollutes everybody. It's too much. Too much of something is simply not good, you know. Whatever overcomes a man, to that he is enslaved, right? That's what they say. So whether it's alcohol, sex, drugs, anger, whatever it is, you know, if you do something that you constantly have to do and you have to feed it, that's a bad thing to do. You have to cut it out. You know, you're not in control. I'm going to be a guy who's in control. That's what I figured out.
I like that.
Years. Yeah, when I get back to the faith, that was a big eye-opener for me.
You've been open about that. Your faith is actually a big part of who you are, and always, but now today even more.
Yeah, way more. Because I used to live always as a good guy, you know. But now I realized all the other things, Now it's like I won't be the guy who judge because if somebody's drunk or whatever they do, or John Jones, whatever happens, I'm the last guy to judge, man. You know me, Mark. I was way worse than all these guys together, So I will never. You see, but you start seeing those things.
That's a movie. That's a movie for sure. That one.
Oh yeah. I mean, think about that. Yeah.
No, I don't mean that as a joke. I mean that like as a serious thing. Like, there's Bas Rutten pre Bas Rutten, and I knew a little bit of that back in the day, and now there's the different Bas Rutten, and lots of people like you're not that like vocal about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand you have a wife and you have kids, and that's a tough one to come out and start talking about that stuff. You know what I mean? Because you have three daughters,
past,
right?
You mean?
Right? Three daughters
and a grandson,
grandson, wife. People say that all the time. It's like, hey, Boss should tell a story, Mark. And I'm like, it's easy to say if you're not Boss. You know what I mean? Like, it's very different. It's very hard.
It's hard, and I have a very understandable wife, and my wife is thankfully, and she's still with me. We're 29 years together now.
Fantastic.
You see, so we're, thankfully she stayed with me because I was weird, I was crazy, and now I told her, I said, I'll make the rest of the life, I'll make it up to you, so don't worry about it. And definitely. I feel better, actually. I'm feeling really good. No profanity, all these things that I used to do a lot. It's so useless in your mind, driving the big cars, I want a Porsche Panamera, I want to, and now when I look back and I go like, oh, yeah, cool, I loved it. Yeah. And I don't say I loved it, I enjoyed it every day, but I mean, it's such a waste of money,
Correct.
The car that I now have, the Ford Explorer, I mean, like, okay, it's a Platinum, but it drives better than my Cayenne. I truly believe that. And I love this freaking car. So why didn't I do this sooner? All these little things you start seeing.
Yeah.
It's like certain things that you do for others. That is the wrong way to go.
So true.
What is he going to think about me if I? No, it's bullshit. It doesn't matter what he thinks about you.
Correct.
It's about family if think about you. That's what about the Lord there.
What? So give some advice to young people going into MMA, and maybe even in general. Maybe some kids getting bullied out there and they don't know what to do next. But some of the wisdom that you've accumulated over the last number of years going through your own stuff, what would you tell one of those guys today?
It's the same. It's very simple. I had a quote on Forbes, a Bas Rutten quote. The best life hack of all is just put in the work and never give up. That's the quote. And that's it. You set your goal and you can't get sidetracked. And that's now where we're difficulties. Now we have the phone, the side things. Oh, it's a text message. Oh, you got to answer right away. Why would you answer right away? No, throw the freaking thing away. Especially a professional fighter. You don't want to go online, dude. There's always assholes talking crap about you. It's always.
You're right.
And if you don't have a thick skin, it's going to bother you. It's going to affect you in your fighting. If you this is the biggest thing that I give to all the fighters. I give two examples. The first example is like if I have a student who is very nervous to fight, right, and his fight is 2 weeks out. You know what I do? I always tell them the same story. Now they know the story. But I say, hey, imagine this guy that you're fighting in 2 weeks is walking into the gym right now. We put you in that room. We close the door. There's no windows, no nothing, nobody. You're going to have to fight. And whoever wins or loses, you're not allowed to say it when you come out. Would you care if you would lose? And they all say no.
Interesting.
And I said, that means that you're fighting not for yourself. No. You're fighting for other people.
You're right.
That's your problem. And once you can let that go and just fight for you.
Wow.
When they ask me, Boss, who do you fight for? I said, fight for me. Oh, not for your family? He said, no. Whoa, I said, no. Now it sounds like I'm an asshole, but I'm not.
No.
I said, because if I fight for my family, I fight with way too much pressure. If I fight for myself and I don't give a crap about it, guess what? I perform at my very best. I'm probably going to win. I probably get extra money, and then the family is automatically taken care of. You see what I mean? Yep. So it is, don't care about people. I wouldn't go on social media if I was a fighter. I wouldn't do it because there's always people. You can't please anybody. You like red, I like blue. Right?
Yeah.
Should we have a fight about it? No, I want you to turn it to blue instead of red. It's bullshit. And it's all opinions. It's just an opinion. Someone else's opinion over you is not reality.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's so true. So true.
One goal, food, eat. You have to leave things. You can't party, can't do it. Can after the fight. And I actually suggest you to do that because I had some fighters in the past, and this might sound really crazy, and they were really good, and they were losing, but they were goody boys, and they didn't do anything bad. I said, let's go party with me a few times. And what do you know? They all started winning suddenly. They need an outlet. Once
that release.
They need to
that
fight.
Release. Yeah.
And You need to be a different guy sometimes. You cannot be all the time good, 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 good. You know, you have that anger. There's something there, and it worked. It always worked. Now, I'm not going to shoot him up with heroin, but we've been crazy.
That's awesome. Well, everybody, check Bas Rutten out on all his social media. We'll post it here on YouTube as well as on Facebook and all our pages. And when the O2 comes back in, the mouthpiece, we'll put that all on our stuff too as well, because we
Nice.
highly recommend it, everybody. And listen, there's some great DVDs out that still play to effect today that people should be getting of yours, Bas. And most of us still do that workout because it still works effectively today.
Hey, and listen, just for the people to know, because they've always been asking me, why didn't you make new ones?
Yeah.
For the last 6 years, there's 18 new ones. 3 different levels, boxing,
Wow.
kickboxing, mixed martial arts.
Wow.
This one's 10 rounds of 3 minutes or 7 rounds of 5 minutes. So it's a big difference. And the combinations are freaking crazy. Compared to the workout that you know, there's a whole different ballgame. Like, it's hard for me to complete.
Awesome.
To hit every combination.
Is that at bossrutten.com?
No, that's actually a bodyactionsystem.com. That's a punching thing that I have.
Okay, yes.
And then you can get them there on stream video. It's like $20 a year. You know, you have the workout. So bodyactionsystem.com.
Okay, everybody, big round of applause for the one and only Bas Rutten, man. Thanks for being on, Bas. We really appreciate it.
Thanks so
You're
much.
very welcome,
really
brother.
appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank
All
you
right,
very
we'll
much.
talk again.
Godspeed, man.
Godspeed and party on. That's what we're doing.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
See you later, Bas.
Thanks.
Well,
Bam.
there it is.
Oh yeah,
Bas
fantastic.
Rutten.
Fantastic. We could have Bas on for 2 days. You know what I mean?
know.
Like the stories and like he said during the podcast, you know, like I know him from another era. I know Bas from the partying days. And, you know, like I said, like it's not appropriate for me to tell those stories on our show, even though people are chiming in wanting me to tell those stories. but you know, Bas is something special. I've known him for a very long time. I've known him for 20 years. So for him to be a guest on our show is absolutely fantastic because, you know, I don't get why MMA fighters aren't ringing his doorbell off the hook.
Right.
What
Were you talking about with the lead kick? Just describe that for a second.
No, because what you see in MMA all the time is, in my whole entire life when I spar with people, I've never thrown a kick. Just a random kick.
Just a one-off.
Just a one-off. Never. It's a jab cross kick. It's a jab hook cross kick. It's a,
now
it's
didn't Dustin just throw a simple kick?
He did 50 of them, and then everyone landed.
That was Connor's fault. See, that Dustin was actually not right in that. It was Connor's fault.
Yes, but as you know, I trained multiple guys that fought in the UFC back in the day, and I try to tell people all the time. I'm like, listen, man, it's not like everybody wants to reinvent something, and everybody wants to show something. You know, it's funny. I knew there was a problem when I was training guys that fought in the UFC and they were boxing with me, and I was beating them in boxing.
Yeah, well.
And I knew there was a problem when your trainer, you're in the UFC, and your trainer's kicking your ass in practice in boxing. There's a problem.
Yeah.
So what I try to tell people is that, you know, and same with Bas, he preached it from day one. It made so much sense. You have to set up those low kicks correctly. And guess what? We just watched it on the weekend with Connor. No clue how to protect himself. Yeah. No clue how to block them. He was walking with crutches after the fight.
Oh, he was messed up.
No clue how to check them. So you're at the highest level in MMA with all this money, and you still don't know some basic things that have been taught. You think the calf kick is a new? Everybody in MMA thinks it's a new thing, like it's a brand new kind of kick. It's not. It's been around forever.
Yeah, it's the first thing I remember watching.
Well, there's a guy named Bruce Lee that was one of the manufacturers of that calf kick that was fantastic at it, and he used to throw it from the front. He used to throw it from the front on your shin, and then he'd come around and kick your calf.
Yeah.
So. But like I said, you know, there's a lot of people out there that think all the time that, you know, treading water in a pool for 4 hours a day is the way you should get ready for MMA. I've always been a huge advocate against it. I like the Michael Phelps approach to anything. You want to be a great swimmer, swim.
Yeah.
You want to be a great fighter, fight. That's how it is.
Well, it is now Super Bowl. The Super Bowl matchup's been decided. We know that Tampa Bay will face the Kansas City Chiefs at home. At home, mind you. First time ever.
First time in history.
First time ever. But next week, before we go, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But first, before that, we have a great guest. We have NFL free safety Eric Harris joining us next week. It just keeps on getting better, folks. So during Super Bowl week, Eric Harris played for Mark's beloved Raiders, so I mean that's
just became a free agent.
Just became a free agent. He'll be picked up by someone. Played for the Hamilton Tiger Cats for 45 games, I think.
He played for the Saints, and then he played for the Raiders for the last few years, and he was great. And he was a team captain. He was actually this last year.
Seahawks could use him actually.
Yes, and he was a team captain for the Raiders this year.
That's next week. That's on the 1st. That'll be next week. But so Super Bowl week, obviously, and then. So our contest, yes, that's our contest. If you've been on our Facebook page, you can only enter it on our Facebook page, but you can there's some things you need to do. We're giving away a one-of-a-kind, limited edition, actually one-of-a-kind, Detroit Red Wings Brett Hull signed, autographed with his autograph on it, framed, worth over $1,400. We're giving one away. If you like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and just read the post there. Make sure you share that post too. That's on our Facebook page. You can go do that right now if you haven't done that already. Make sure you share that because you'll be entered in for the $1,400 prize of a Brett Hull signed jersey. Say what you want about the Detroit Red Wings, but I liked Brett Hull a lot.
Oh, he was that good. But everybody, Facebook.com/me-and-Jesse. So
that's how you get on that. But the Super Bowl, I mean, okay, number one, prediction.
I like the GOAT in this one.
The GOAT. You know what, Mark? I'm gonna call you out today. You said the GOAT wasn't the GOAT. You said that he wasn't the guy. You said he was gonna die. You said he was gonna suck in Tampa Bay. You said he was gonna suck.
But he's the GOAT. The GOAT. But I always said he was the GOAT. There was no, but it does come. It does come to an end.
You thought though that without Belichick,
apparently he didn't get the memo. Apparently Brady didn't get the memo that he wasn't done yet. The reason why this Super Bowl I'm going to watch a Super Bowl. It's the first time in history I can't go for either team because
you can't go for the Chiefs.
I can't go for the Chiefs because they're in my division. I hate the Chiefs, and then I can't go for Tampa Bay. Because there's an individual that plays for that team that did us really dirty with the Raiders. So if he plays in the game,
AB's in, man. AB's in. I hope he gets a touchdown. Hope he gets a nice 72-yard touchdown.
I think it's funny though how everybody became a Tampa Bay fan all of a sudden.
Hey guys, from day one I said watch out Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a top 4 team, and I said that from day one. Everyone laughed at me and said Brady was washed up. And I said, he's the GOAT. He will find a way to win. People blame the refs for them winning last night. You could blame the refs maybe for one play, but you don't kick a field goal with effing 2:05 left when you're down and need another score.
Listen, should Matt LaFleur lose his job?
Matt LaFleur should not only lose his job, but they should release Rodgers and let him try to go win somewhere where they actually want to win. Because I'm not convinced that Green Bay wants to actually win.
But Matt LaFleur should be released from his
100%.
Like, I agree. Too,
and the OC gone, LaFleur gone. Rodgers, peace out. I'm going somewhere where they want me. Because hey, when you have Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan, but I love talent. The facts are that he could be the GOAT. You know what? He should have been the GOAT. He had better mechanics. He has better physicality. He has better athleticism. He's arguably smarter. He's got a better arm than Tom Brady, and he can't win. That, to me, says that, hey, this guy's doing it all. Something's missing. If it's coaching, if it's whatever. If it's people making stupid plays, it doesn't matter. He's on a team that can't win. He needs to get on a team that can win.
Yes. But Matt LaFleur, when he's
how do you defend that?
At 2:05, I looked at the clock. I'm like, does he not understand that the quarterback on the other side is Tom Brady?
Did he think it was the third quarter? Like, come on.
I was so confused. And then he said, well, we had all our timeouts. And I was like, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They need a first down.
You don't give the guy that knows how to manage the clock better than any quarterback in the history of the NFL. You give him the ball back.
2-minute drill. This guy knows what he invented. Him and Belichick invented it. Do you think he forgot because he left New England? Come on.
If there's not a moving truck in front of Matt LaFleur's house right now in Green Bay, something is not right. There should be a moving truck.
You better have security.
Yeah, take him out because that's just not that's not intelligent.
No, I don't understand. It does not make sense whatsoever. But again, the Green Bay Packers, as I said before, different coach, yes, but they've had a history of making stupid calls, calling stupid plays when
they sure have.
They could easily ice something, and I just don't get it. And I said, Aaron Rodgers, save yourself. Go somewhere where you can win. Go somewhere where they're going to let you be the GOAT. Because it seems like, you know what another slap in the face is to Aaron Rodgers? And like I said, I'm not an Aaron Rodgers. You draft a quarterback when the guy needs a receiver, the guy needs something to throw the ball to. Yes, Devontae Adams was amazing this year, but that's all they had. And Jones was good as a running back. But don't draft a quarterback. This guy has a limited time frame left to win this freaking Super Bowl. Give him something.
Left?
How many years? 3 max.
3, yeah.
But again, Tom's 42 or 3 or 4, whatever how old he is.
And he looked the dime. Listen, the dime
he threw some zips though. He had some zips yesterday.
Oh, the dime he threw at half.
Hey,
with
again,
4 seconds left.
Stupid play by the Packers. Why aren't you covering deep? You have one guy in the backfield. You're like, hey, you remember this is Tom Brady, and they have guys like Mike Evans that can run and jump, and you have one safety covering. I don't understand. With 4 seconds left, the one play.
Get off the Super Bowl before I forget, because this one's driving me nuts. Ryan Garcia and Manny Pacquiao. Can the kid beat Pacquiao right now?
Well, Pacquiao's obviously got more experience.
Yeah, but I don't see it right now. I don't.
You don't think he can win?
No. I love Ryan Garcia. I just don't think he can win right now. I like you understand. There's levels of this game, okay?
Yeah.
And there's
what I mean.
and we saw in his last fight he got dropped. Okay, he got dropped bad, and by a guy that's not even on the same atmosphere as Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao does have some power still.
Yes, yeah, he sure does. And I'm looking. I don't think it's a smart fight right now for this kid. I think one or two more baby steps and then go ahead and fight Manny Pacquiao, right? But this kid's all over Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, and he's just ranting and raving that he's going to fight Manny Pacquiao, and I'm like, can someone stop this kid? Like, that's not the best fight right now for him, not at all.
Well, I think that the Mayweather McGregor fight did something to pro fighting.
Did it ever?
It is. You can be set up for life and not have to worry about the rest of it. When boxing,
yeah.
And you know, a Pacquiao Garcia fight maybe does become a top 5 pay-per-view buy. You know, who knows? Like, and the kid gets set up forever. Maybe he's got a mom in Nicaragua or somewhere that needs money. But Tyson and Tyson's last fight, $66 million against Roy Jones Jr. That had to be the worst fight card in history. Now I will say this, but the UFC, they haven't changed their game for years. They do have the same music, they have the same show. Yeah. But on Fight Island, that was 1,000 times better, at least 1,000 times better than the Tyson fiasco.
Oh, easily.
They just have it a little more like that Tyson one. I understand what you're doing. I love rap. I love that culture. I love that stuff. But how Mickey Moused and slapped together it was awkward
horrible
to watch. It was awkward to watch.
And if you do the mathematics, $60 million for Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson and these brothers. That's what I call them now. The Paul brothers. One of the Paul brothers.
Well, they're business guys. They're entrepreneur kids. Hey, whatever. Yeah. I mean, they made bank. It's crazy when you think about it. Like, wow. And people, like, you realize that YouTube's actually a real deal now. Like, you can get yourself out to something else like that. And now he wants to fight. I mean, he should fight like basketball players and stuff. He shouldn't be fighting. Who was he called? He was calling Connor out and stuff like that. Then he called the Diaz brothers. Come on.
The Diaz brothers are the wrong guys to call out. Okay?
Those guys will actually hurt you. They will.
They'll put a YouTube camera on you. They'll show up. They'll beat your brains in on the street, and then they'll fight you, and then they'll beat your brains again.
Those aren't the guys you pick a fight with.
The Paul brothers should be very careful on calling out the Diaz brothers, because where they live in Stockton, to get to them is not that far away.
Right.
It's really not. It's really not. They don't have to take a plane to get to you. You know what I'm saying? So the Diaz brothers are people you just don't do that with.
Yeah, someone actually said, because Evander Kane wanted to fight him too, and yeah, do that fight. Do that fight.
Evander Kane would be
the problem is no one's going to buy it because, in all honesty, Paul's a bigger name than Evander Kane. So you're like, nothing against Evander Kane. It's just NHL really doesn't crack the U.S. market. So
no.
So again, you realize the NHL is like number 9 watched thing in America. 9.
Yeah, go check.
Bowling, like bowling's higher.
LPGA female golf has bigger reviews than the NHL.
By the way, the NHL, I am hating this division thing. Like all the Canadian teams have to play each other 10 times. This is ridiculous. Like, why are we even bothering? This is so dumb. And
Who came up with this idea?
Gary Bettman. And then who else? And then you get the division with Washington and Pittsburgh and Philly and the Rangers, and it's like an all-star. Those guys could win any of the other conferences, no problem. Definitely. And they're all in the same one, and 3 of them got to miss the playoffs. So just to have hockey, and I mean, they're saying Bettman said he's going to lose $2 billion this year. He probably would have saved more by not having it.
You think so?
Well, I don't know what they could do for not paying, if he can actually cancel the contract.
I don't know.
Or pause the contracts. But anyway, I mean, people love hockey. I get it. It's not my favorite.
No.
Football, NFL football, combat sports. Sorry. NBA. Combat sports. Those are the 3. Football, I mean, hockey gets in there sometimes, maybe when the Masters aren't on.
I'm on the same plane. Like for someone that came up in a hockey family like I did, it's not even on my top 4 or 5 list. Like, I'll watch U.S. Open tennis before I'll watch a hockey game. So, unfortunately,
Kane
this
needs
is the
money
way it is.
Too. He's bankrupt. Someone just chimed in.
The way they say, Kane,
he's bankrupt. He just went bankrupt. Yeah.
Everybody's looking for a payday. Everybody's looking for a payday in boxing, and I mean, look at the Nate Smith, the Nate guy that Paul kid fought. Same thing. He was looking for a payday. He got paid huge. Yeah. And he got knocked out face first, but he got paid huge to do that fight.
Well, why not?
I mean, if you're willing to take it, but everybody, please, if you have a chance, get over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/me-and-Jesse for the Brett Hall jersey contest. Yes. It's our first contest on our Facebook page. You're going to have to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is also easy because you just go to youtube.com/.
I put we got the nice link, but I also put the link right in the post too. For all you lazy people that don't want to type. You just click with the mouse.
Just click, right? So and then do that, right? But next week we got Eric Harris from the Raiders on the show, and his story is really incredible because he did come from the CFL. He played for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. You want to talk about the grind? Everybody out there that wants to talk about the grind and they want to talk about what it takes, and I believe Eric Harris will have some answers for that question.
Because I guarantee you that every CFL player, their first goal was to play in the NFL.
Correct. Especially where he came from. Grew up in Los Angeles, ends up in Hamilton from Los Angeles, then goes back to the NFL, plays for the Saints, plays for the Las Vegas Raiders, and you say to yourself, wow, get out a map and see where that guy went to fulfill his dream.
100%.
And you'll understand what the word grind and determination and being relentless actually means. And on next week's show with Eric Harris, you will find that out.
Ladies and gentlemen, sitting right over there is Mark Pavlich. Find him on all social media at Mark Pavlich. You can find me on all social media at Jesse Martin. Now, this has been the most exciting 60 minutes you've spent on Facebook and YouTube this week. And remember the words of our very special guest, MMA legend Bas Rutten. Put in the work. Keep going. Don't let up. Don't be distracted. And you see where it takes you. And I'll tell you what, I mean, I know for Mark and myself, doing this show for 4 years now, we've got new life breathed into us, and that quote from Bas today is what we're doing, and so we're going for it. We hope you join us along the way. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as Facebook, and thanks for watching as always. Until next time,
Godspeed and party on.
This has been the Me and Jesse podcast. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Thanks for watching the Me and Jesse podcast. Follow us at facebook.com/meandjesse.